Welcome back, everyone. Going to part 2 here of Monster Hunter. Zeke.
Monster Hunter.
Sorry, drop frame. I'm not.
Monster Hunter on the brain, man.
That's when the problem
Here we
kicks
go
in.
in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, well, welcome back to Drop Frames. Not Monster Hunter. That's later. Zeke, talk to me about Celeste. This game had like a crazy amount of buzz going on last week, and I'm glad that one of us played it. So, what is it, and what is so good about it? Why was everyone freaking the fuck out?
Well, okay. This thing has so much going right for it. The look and feel of it is just is 10 out of 10. It's just really good. There's this like kind of a melancholy exploration feel to it. It's got some really like light story elements, but they all hit the right notes. But mostly two things really stand out in this game. The fun of the gameplay is so good. It's so much fun to play it. It's a platformer with different mechanics. There's a like wall sliding and climbing and dashing midair and stuff like that. The challenge is really good. It feels like my thumb and my my trigger finger are like they got kind of blistered because it's because it gets so tense. Like, and I'm bad, really bad. That's why I can never play fighting games, because I push buttons so hard because my hands tense up when you're trying to accomplish something.
Right.
That it's not. I couldn't play it the next day. I wanted to finish it in like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
I play fighting games and I still do that. My hands still hurt like crazy afterwards.
Oh yeah. No, I wanted to play it like a couple days in a row and I was like, I can't. Like you can sort of see
Jesus.
like there.
It's like some Mario Party fucking stick spinning thing right there.
Just a little blister on my hand. But because it's I don't want to compare it to any other game, but you remember Meat Boy and they had like levels, right?
Yeah.
And you'd play the same level. If it was a tough level, you play the same level over and over and over again to get like the best time or whatever you needed to get the bandage and then that kind of stuff. It has similar elements to that in that every screen is like a new level. Instead of like going on a map and going to new levels, it's just like once you transfer to a screen, it's a new level.
Gotcha.
So this screen in particular it's its own level, and if you leave and come back, it'll reset itself. So if like there's a falling block that you need to do something with and you failed it the first time, you can leave and come back, or you can hit the retry in the menu to retry the certain screen or whatever. But the challenge is good, but it's not impossible. So it keeps you going. It's not, you won't stay on a level for hours at a time trying to, do whatever. It's
not Boshy levels of craziness.
Exactly. You'll retry screens like 7-8 times. I mean, at the hardest, like 20, but it's something I commented on in the chat while I was playing it. The restart is so fast. Like Meat Boy. It's like you die, you're automatically back at the start again, try again.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And that's super important.
Not
for
a lot of
games
time
like
in between.
Exactly. There's almost no time wasted in this. There's tons of secrets as well. Like as you're traversing the levels and stuff, there's these things. There's strawberries, which are basically just collectibles. You don't need them at all. They don't add anything to the game except the sense of accomplishment that you get them. And the strawberries are hidden all throughout the level. They're all numbered. Like once you finish a level, it'll say like you got 14 out of 16 strawberries, and it'll show you like it'll break the level up into 3 chapters, and it'll show you like there's 5 strawberries on this level, and you missed one here on the last chapter. There's like 2, so you go back and you can discover where they are and try and find them and stuff. Like
yeah.
And by secret levels, I mean you find invisible walls, you break through walls. You trigger something and you go like see that like stoplight platform.
Yeah.
like you trigger that and you see like, oh shit, it looks like I can go behind that. Oh, you can. There's a whole other screen there and another level to challenge you to get the strawberry. And typically the strawberry levels are getting them is a little bit more difficult than just progressing through like the main screens.
Right.
The other thing is so good. The sound design and music in this are stellar. I've said this before, and I think it bears repeating every time. Music and sound can make a good game almost perfect. What was that? And this does it. It has it on every level. When you walk on the snowy parts, it sounds like you're walking on the snow.
Is the sound design specifically like retro?
No.
It's not. Okay.
Nope. It's not chip or bit. It's just like it's electronic music, but it's just good. It's just really, really good.
Zeke, I think for future indie sessions, when we talk, when a game has good music, I need you to clip me a part of your stream where you just don't talk. And because every time I go to play, yeah, because I'm like, hey, let's listen to the music, and then it's just like blah blah blah. I'm Zeke, and the music's in the background.
Well, if you go to the beginning of the stream,
yeah, do you play some of the music?
There might be a part. I think there might be a part where I'm just like quietly listening to it.
Okay, all right, I'll search for it.
If you can find it.
Yeah, I'll search.
But yeah, it's just really good. There's some story to figure out, like as you progress from chapter to, or I don't want to say chapters because there's chapters within the actual world. Let's say worlds. As you progress through the worlds, there are different story elements that kind of unveil like this enigmatic thing, because the point of the game is to climb to the top of the mountain Celeste to get to the summit. And as you go, you meet NPCs along the way that kind of reveal a little bit about what's going on and what's happened. Like you can see the plane crash, like in the background. Oh, I'm not on the screen. I'm up here. I'm not down there. Because I wanted to point, like it's right there, because I saw myself. But you see the plane crash, and you're like, oh, what's that? And like little things get revealed. Like the last level I did last world I did was World 3, and you're in like a hotel. It's a dilapidated, abandoned hotel, but you meet an NPC, and there's story stuff that kind of gets revealed piece by piece, and you're like, oh, it's actually quite intriguing. And not heavy-handed, so it's little pieces at a time, but they knew that it shouldn't necessarily be the focus of the game. The focus of the game is the gameplay, which is so satisfying and good.
This was the game that had the Nintendo Direct trailer, right?
Possibly. I know that when they released it, it came out on all platforms.
It didn't come out on all platforms. Okay, so it was also on Switch.
Yes, I believe so.
Oh wow.
Okay. I'm like, I've seen this game before. I'm like trying to put it one and one together, which one it is. I'm sure the chat will update me in a second, but I think there was a big portion of it for the latest Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, they're saying yes, it was. So
nice.
Yeah. What did you? This is the PC version you're playing right here, Zeke. Is that correct?
Got on Steam. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah,
yes, it is on Switch. Okay, cool.
We're playing a little bit of the music. I don't. Is that coming through on my end? Can you guys hear that? Okay. This is just like a chill level, I guess. Is there more chiptune music, or what would you say where's the music at, Zeke, in terms of scope and genre?
It's kind of like this. It's very easy to listen to, not intrusive, but it's so good sometimes you have to put your controller down and listen to it.
Yeah. Do you know any of the songs by heart? Is there one that's more upbeat? This one is called Quiet and Falling. Literally sounds like that.
No, they do change throughout the game.
Okay.
So there's not one that you get repeated as far as I know. At least not one that's like got into my head yet.
All right, we'll listen to this one. It's called Awake. They're all pretty like chilled out.
Yeah.
Maybe this one's a little bit more up tempo. Nope. Some of these are longer too. You can buy the soundtrack for $9 on Bandcamp. It looks like Radical Dreamland.
I was really hoping JP was gonna like turn on Darude Sandstorm or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this song? It sounds great.
Yeah, we'll randomly throw in the
crazy.
fucking. Let's just throw in this. It's the Subnautica soundtrack. This is also in Celeste, believe it or not.
Oh God.
We'll talk about Zeke's experience with Subnautica later, but yeah. So you recommend it, Zeke? It's good?
Absolutely. It's someone asking chat if it's worth the $20, and I would say after playing it for one stream and getting through 3 worlds, absolutely it's worth the $20. It's just
Seems like a perfect game for Switch too.
yes, absolutely perfect game for Switch. And not only that, but I think it's going to have a very deep speedrunning community. Like there's going to be different categories of speedruns that people are going to do, like all strawberries, straight through any percent, 100% and stuff like that. I think it's going to be rife with that. Has an in-game timer just built for that kind of stuff. People are already like Trihex has already played it and tweeting about it. So I think it's going to have a deep speedrunning community for sure.
That's awesome. Yeah, everyone's been saying that this is kind of like Meat Boy ish or Meat Boy light ish, and that grabbed my interest right away. So I think I definitely want to check it out. Do you?
Yeah. Whereas Meat Boy is fun and light, and this one has like an ambiance to it.
Okay. All right.
That makes it even more appealing. Play.
I want to pull up the how long to beat just to see how long the game is, because we know in Zeke time. How long have you played it?
I played it for one stream, so 8-ish hours.
Okay. Well, the how long to beat for main story is 6.5 hours. So I don't know if you're
Main story, yeah, without like getting in it. Did they say like what 100%?
Completionist is 14.5.
Okay.
With I don't how many people have done
A decent amount of content for $20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see.
But I mean, I can't wait to get back to it. I'm so excited to play it again because it's just so engaging and it's nonstop. Like if you want it, you just keep going and going and going if you want.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as the game lasts.
I like the like death animation. It's very Mega Man-esque.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But the restarting quick is so important.
Yeah. I can.
The quick restart almost reminds me of like wanna be the guy type stuff. It just like pops you back, get back in there immediately.
Yeah.
Yep. No, and that's something I was talking to one of the devs about it, and that's what he says. Like that was really important for us. It was a big point to make sure that you could restart super quick so the action doesn't stop.
Well, this was what you played at the start of Indie Sunday, so we could just run through the games real quick if you like.
Okay.
Because one of them was a game that I told you to play, and I love seeing how much you hate my recommendations. So what? Jesus, you play this for a long. Is this all you played on Indie Sunday, or was there a different day of?
No, this was the only game because this was the end of Indie Week. I had already done 5 days. I've done 5 days of
right.
Indie days, and then the last Sunday I said I'm just gonna play Celeste all day because everybody kept asking like, oh my god, people are loving this game. There's a lot of hype. Gets scores on whatever websites, and I said, all right, tell you what, I will just mark off a day and I'll just play that.
Okay.
But leading up to it, I had some real fun with lots of different games.
Well, I'll just pull up a random VOD and we'll start with this. What is this weird Ghost and Goblins clone-ish?
Yes, it's like Ghosts and Goblins. This game, god damn it had so much potential. It's called CGA A Fart for Melusina.
What?
Yes, it's called CGA A Fart for Melusina. It's pretty straightforward platformy. This game It was fun. Pretty short. Hold on, let me see here. Pretty short. It's $3. Total. I would say it would be worth $3
Okay.
to play it because I only played it for like I want to say like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little less than an hour. The platforming is good. The controls are great. You go along, you get power ups, and every 100 coins you get an extra extra life or whatever. Two things has really going against it. One, super short. You can finish it in under an hour. If it was double that long, it would have been a pretty good length.
Yeah.
Two, the screen shake is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It is. Every time you kill an enemy, the screen shakes. Every fucking time. And sometimes you kill a lot in a row, so it's just like the whole fucking time. And it's just awful.
Or anything?
Nope. I looked for it over and over. It's like, how can I turn this off? How can I turn this off?
Geez.
And
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
It's rough.
That would get
And I railed against it the whole time. It's like, if not for the screen shake, this would be like 5 times more fun.
Yeah.
But it's just a straight up platformer. It controls really well. It has boss fights at the end, different weapons that you can get, just like any other platformers you get like a spread shot, you get like a 2 spike balls on a chain that you can throw, you get like chicken legs that you can throw.
It's one thing to have like, I think screen shake is meant to like emphasize power, so you feel it instead of being jarred by it. And I'm
Right.
just, all I see is the screen shake.
Yeah, it's
bad.
It's really doesn't fit the. I'm seeing I'm seeing a lot of like Super Mario Brothers 3. I see Ghosts and Goblins. I see some Donkey Kong here with the letter collects. I see it's kind of all over a love letter to SNES platformers in a sense. Like it's interesting to
for
say
sure.
at least. CGA Fart from, is that explained why it's called a fart for Melusina?
Melusina, she's a mermaid you're trying to rescue.
Oh,
That's
okay.
the basic gist of the game.
Perfect.
But a fart, it's just because they put fart noises in the game when you collect food. Like every time you collect a hot dog or a fucking sandwich or something, you just go, and that's it.
Great.
A fart for Lucina is the Switch version.
Yeah.
$3. On
Yeah,
Steam.
$3.
Yeah.
Or you can get the no screen shake DLC for $7.
Ooh.
Man, I would recommend it if it wasn't for the screen shake. Like $3 or if it wasn't for the screen shake and it was twice as long. So it'd be 2 hours of content, no screen shake, totally worth $3.
All right, moving along. What is this?
Oh my God! Now this game has so much potential. It's like it plays like a demo, but it has so much potential. It's called Nocturnal Hunt. You play as a wolf. Your cub has been stolen, and you have to go get it back. And you play as a wolf, and you basically you can stealth. There's two ways you can go. You can stealth and not be caught, or you can be a murderous killer wolf to kill anybody who's on the screen.
Okay.
So you can sneak past all the humans, or you can kill all of them.
I'm gonna try to find some death animations here.
Yeah, right. Should be.
Hey, which one did you do, Zeke?
Oh, I did both actually. Well,
okay.
You did?
No, I didn't do both. I did because it's a really really short game. It plays like a demo.
Honestly,
Honestly, I played it for 66 minutes on Steam. Totally just
Oh, and that was
really short. Yeah, really short. It's not worth
I got one
$6 yet.
question.
Yeah.
If you look down at your feet, do you see paws?
No, you don't have you don't have a sprite.
oh man.
I know.
Okay.
But to that end, the reason why I say it has so much potential, the game is super fast. And when you run, like one of the first things I noticed is when you run, you lope like a wolf.
Whoa.
It's like dunk, dunk, and you like go up and down, and your eyesight is right where a wolf's would be. And when you sneak, You like go into like the bushes and shit. But the movement is one of the best things about this game. It is really well done. The graphics are just fine. They're really good. Nothing like outstandingly good. I mean, you can see them. But I'm just saying, like, I felt like I was playing a wolf and not like a human being walking, because of the motion of the running and stuff like that. Also, the sound design is really good too. When after you get done, it's like you're sprinting, you hear yourself panting like a wolf panting. It's
Do
great.
they have sniper rifles? What the fuck?
That's a kill.
He had like a giant sniper rifle in his hand. What the hell?
Makes me realize how few games we get to play as combat dogs.
Yeah.
Like Okami and this, and like maybe Darkstalkers, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's one of the other cool things is that you've seen in tons of other games like Batman or whatever, but you have smell-o-vision basically, so your eyes blur, but you can smell whatever's around you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Nocturnal Hunt is $6 on Steam from developer
$6
and publisher Wolfpack. So it might be there.
I wouldn't recommend buying it unless you have money to burn, but I hope the studio makes a full-length game, man. Like, and with this kind of like with the wolf main character, because it felt so good to be like. Do you see how like low you are, and when you're sneaking,
yeah,
and you jump up and like rip them apart? It was really satisfying to do that.
Yeah, I can't really think of a game that's had a fixed perspective like that, where it's actually on like a dog or wolf level. So. Moving along, what is this 2D looking?
This game.
I don't even know how to describe this.
I watched you play this game for a while.
Yes. This game is called Deep Sky. Sorry, I'm not used to having a head mic, so I'm breathing into it. This game is called Deep Sky Derelict. And it's mostly Darkest Dungeon with a space theme.
Uh-oh.
With deck building. There's deck building aspect to it. When you pick up like a different equipment or a mod to a weapon you have, it gives you different cards to play when you're doing combat. Like at the bottom there's all those cards.
Yeah.
Like if I got a sword mod that was like titanium grip, it would swap out the cards of your original grip and put new cards in. So when you battle, you'll have different like strategies based on that. And it was, dude, if you like Darkest Dungeon, you're gonna fucking like this game. It's a lot like that. You cruise along a map. You do like scans to search for scavenge stuff.
Zeke, I only saw you do it a little bit. Can you go into a little more detail about the map system? Like it's just like a grid of squares, right? How does that work exactly?
It is a grid of squares. Now, it's called Deep Sky Derelicts because that's basically what you do. You go on a derelict ships that are like floating in space, and you scout them out, find stuff on them, contracts. Like this particular NPC will give you contracts to say like, there's someone out there who wants 3 worm ladders or worm intestines. So you try and find those on these different derelict ships. And you start with like wherever your ship lands, you have like a certain radius that you can actually see. And you start with energy, 100 energy. To scan the next radius of like 3 around you, it costs like 5 energy. So you have kind of a time limit as far as how long you can stay on the ship or how many turns you can stay on the ship. So if you walk up to the edge of where you can see, you hit scan again, that gives you like another 4 squares in a radius that you can see. And your scans will bring up like points of interest or places you can scavenge or enemies. Like it'll show you where the enemies are, so you can go and fight them or avoid them if you like. And you'll see like that. Boop,
Okay.
boop, boop. Red means there are rooms there you can't see, but you know there are rooms there, so you don't have to scan, but you could get ambushed or whatever and not see what's coming. But yeah, the combat's all turn-based. If you run out of energy, you die, which I learned quickly.
Okay.
I didn't know that. But once I had scanned too much and gone, oh, you have to have enough energy, like every square that you walk takes like 2 energy, I think. And if you can't physically get back to your starting area, because you have to get back to the starting area to go back to the base, if you don't have enough energy, you just die. Like if you have to budget that.
Huh. Well, it's still
But you
early
can buy
access,
batteries,
so
stuff like that. Yeah, it's totally early access.
yeah.
I think it has a lot of potential. It's just like it's like $16. I would say wait and see what's happening. I heard they're having someone told me they're having a big update in February. And then it'll release sometime in like March or May.
Okay, so not too far out.
Yeah, not too far out, but it was a lot of fun. I don't know how long I played it for. Let me see. I played it for 2 hours. I could have easily played it for an entire broadcast, but when I'm doing those indie days, I feel like it's necessary for me to like, move on and show off other stuff.
Sure. Well, let's do the same. Move on to whatever this is. Oh, Nantucket. I've seen someone play this before.
Yes. Nantucket is another it has management. You have to manage, like, okay, basically the gist of it is you are a sailor after the time of the book Moby Dick, after Herman Melville's Moby Dick. And you are playing as another captain. You could play, I don't think you play as Ahab, but you can hire people like from the book, like Queequeg from the book is in the game. Okay. You can hire him to be like, on your ship, I think eventually. In the tutorial, you get him. But when you start out, you can't because he's way too high a level for you. So there's a leveling system. There's missions you do. You sail a lot. And it becomes really frustrating if you don't have the right people and the right jobs on your ship, because it'll say like, that place is 37 days out. And then you start sailing there. And by the time you get there, you're like 20 days behind schedule because it tells you. And your food and water and rum or grog are all running out. And you're like, you get these little events along the way, whether you have a whale sighting or your ship, the people on your ship want to fucking mutiny because you ran out of grog, or, little stuff like that as you're sailing. So once you go from place to another place, that's when like events happen.
Right.
Newsboy at every port has jobs for you. So you go to the newsboy, it says like, this guy wants you to discover a new whaling site. And you're a whaler, by the way. That's like, you have to get over that. You are a whaler and you hunt whales for their blubber and oil.
I see.
You have to be okay with that in a game, which I'm sure most people would be like, oh, you're a whaler, but this, like, how many fucking necks have you broken? How many people have you shot in the face? So get over it. But you get the jobs from the newsboy. They say like, discover this whaling site, come back here, we'll give you $100. Okay. Or this guy wants you to deliver this piece of mail across the world to this guy. Once you come back, we'll give you like $500, stuff like that. So there's little jobs along the way as you go.
So it's kind of like Oregon Trail, but with whalers, in a sense.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot like Oregon Trail.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah.
We're gonna steal from. We'll steal from chat. It's Oregon Sail. Let's go with that.
Hey, there you go.
It's a good one.
Let's see, Nantucket. I played it for 106 minutes, so a little over an hour and a half. It's $18. Not sure if not sure if it's worth that yet. Maybe wait for it to go on sale.
Is there any live action?
It's well done. And there's no live action.
There's a live action trailer on Steam, but that's not in the game at all.
Oh, I never saw that.
It looks like this. I don't know.
Oh no, I think that's just like a commercial.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Yeah, this is what happens when you go to port, right? It's just just looped.
Well, that would be a lot better if that was in the game, but I don't think it is. I didn't see it at least.
Gotcha. Well, cool. You recommend it? You said?
I'd wait for it to go on sale.
Okay. All right.
$18 is a little much. I'd say like maybe 12, 13 would be a good price for it.
Gotcha. Then is this Word with Friends? This is Word with Friends. Yeah, that's what.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I like big butts and blank.
Dead
sluts.
Jesus Christ.
That got dark.
Yeah. Oh my God. I just want to see the rest of these now. That one's pretty good. What else we got?
Big butts.
Nice. All right. Good job.
Treating members of the opposite sex with respect.
Yeah. Good job, Ziconia. Still funny. Still funny. That I think that might have been the end day.
Nope. Let's see. We haven't talked about. We didn't talk about Rusty Lake Paradise, or did we?
No, that's what I'm saying. That was the last broadcast you did. So.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Nantucket. Where would you like to go?
Derelicts. Wherever. Just pick another day. Like they should be labeled by games in my videos, right?
Yeah. Here's Hugh. Okay. Whoops.
Hugh.
Go skip forward.
I did not give this game enough time. This game is a little bit like Celeste in the feeling. It's a platformer with some feeling involved. There's a story that you get to. The mechanic is really cool because you collect colors throughout the game, and if you select that color, that particular whatever's on the screen disappears.
Huh.
So if you have an orange block in your way and you turn everything, the background and everything orange, it'll disappear. But if you turn a different color, it reappears.
Is it just trial and error?
I feel like it's mandatory you wear a tie-dye shirt while playing this game.
So I was wearing a tie-dye shirt.
Yeah.
In other words,
You were? Oh my God. And that's why you totally are.
Yeah. But the platforming elements of it is really cool because you jump and you change colors midair to land on another platform.
Huh. Cole, what were you trying to say?
Oh no, it's all good. I'm looking at how it works with you combining the colors.
Yeah. How do you know? Is it just trial and error to find the boxes?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, it's there's not overly like there's not too many colors. You start off with one to get the mechanics going, and then you collect them as you go along. So if you got 3 colors, you're jumping from platform to platform to platform based on the color. So you can jump 2 platforms, but then you got to switch colors to get to the next one. Also, if the I made the blue box disappear, so I can grab the orange box and move it through to the other side of the blue box. There's definitely a lot of cool puzzle elements in this game.
Huh.
Really, really fun. I want to play more of this game for sure. It's $15. I honestly only playing it for an hour and a half. I'd say it's worth it. It's really cool idea. It's got really cool sound design. If I remember correctly, sound design and music. It feels like a faster paced Limbo with more focus on gameplay than story. Like if Limbo story's here and the gameplay is here, just switch those.
Yeah. Okay. Do the levels change much from this, or is that pretty much?
Oh yeah.
Okay, they do. Gotcha.
Yeah, they're definitely there's varied different types of levels where you're like you're running down a slope and there's boulders and you got to like switch the colors to get the obstacles out of your way. And once you switch the colors, that means like the boulders that were being held by that color, they fall down and now they're chasing you. So like that. So there's lots of different mechanics that they took advantage of with the color switching. It's really, really cool. This game is not as old as or not as new as I thought it was. I was like, oh, it came out August 2016. So
geez, okay.
It's been out for a minute. It's been out for a minute.
Moving along, what is this?
This game is also like I was so surprised. Like all of these games were suggested by my community. This game is another really, really fantastic platformer Metroidvania style game with upgrades and like you find different power-ups like the ice beam and the wave beam in Metroid, kind of like that. This game is called Iconoclasts.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've heard some buzz about this.
This is the one you recommended this one to me as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that now, yeah. So it's good?
It's really good. It's very, very good.
Whoops. Right. Let's go back to some gameplay. Here we go. Is this a boss?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Why are there two of you?
I found a friend. I freed her from a prison, and now she's helping me.
Oh.
Dude, this looks right off of Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It's really,
awesome.
really good. Really, really good. A lot of fun. Gameplay is crisp. It controls a lot like a Mega Man game.
Music's good.
Music's great. Fantastic. $20. If you like this, I would say yes, it's worth it if you like what you see. But if you're just casually into it, I'd wait for it to go on sale. It's another one I'd probably wouldn't pay full $20 for, but it does everything right. If you like this kind of game, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, it reviewed pretty well. It's got like an 82 on Metacritic, so people seem to like it as well.
Yep, it's fast. It's fast paced. It has a saving system. Like you find a statue and you can save there.
Is it difficult? Like, is there a challenge to it?
I didn't play for long enough to really
Grasp.
expound on that.
Okay.
What I have seen, not super difficult. The difficulty comes in, I think, just like a Metroidvania game where you see like something that you can get to, but it's out of your reach. So you're like, oh, there must be a double jump or a grapple or something like that. And inevitably you find that particular thing. You're like, oh, there it is. Okay, now I can go back to that spot and explore that new area.
What's in that chest? Is there a power up?
There's
so crafting.
Yeah, there's ingredients. It's not crafting, it's upgrading.
Oh, okay.
I think because there's 3 elements there's only 3 elements, which is nice. There's like triangle element, square element, and circle element. I think they call them something, but that's what they're shaped like. And you use them to. That's what they are. They're see up beneath my health bar.
Yes.
You make upgrades for like that little wrench symbol means my wrench that I swing, it does more damage.
Oh, okay.
So I have 3 slots for upgrades that you make with the ingredients. So it takes 1 circle and 1 triangle to make your wrench upgrade so it does more damage. And you only have 3 slots, so you have to pick and choose which ones you want in there.
Chat's saying it's made by one guy as well, so it's a one-man show.
Yeah, I heard it took a little bit to make. It's by
I don't even try to
Joachim.
pronounce. I didn't pronounce his name because I wasn't gonna butcher it.
Joachim Sandberg, Joakim.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's. I got nothing negative to say about it. Everything about it is in the right spot.
Cool. Moving along. What's this? Looks like an adventure game of some sort.
Yep, this is a point-and-click adventure game.
Through.
What's this one called? So I can
adventure
buy it
game.
real quick.
This one's called Odysseus Cosmos
Oh,
and
boy.
his Robot Quest, Episode 1. I will say that it's a straight-up point-and-click adventure game. It's got all those elements, but it didn't grab me.
Okay.
It has a very light sense of humor, but not enough. It's not enough paradigm. You know what I'm saying? Like, not enough goofiness.
It looks tame.
Yeah.
It's very.
Yeah.
I'm looking through these screenshots and the videos, and everything I'm seeing is like spaghetti sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It got a little tedious and boring, I will say.
Yeah. All right. Well,
You have to, I mean, okay, how about this? You have to really like adventure games to like this. Like, it's
Makes sense. Makes sense. Geez, you played a lot of fucking games.
I did.
What is this shit that we can't see? Some horror game.
Which one is this one? This one is this Endless Inside? I think that might be it.
Looks adventure-y. This looks like a game we
Yes.
played last week as well.
Yeah, it's kind of similar for sure. Yes, this one's called Endless Inside, and it's a point and click kind of escape room puzzle game. It has a lot of atmosphere to it and some weirdness. Like you walk into that, like one of the first rooms you walk into, you hear like a whispering. You're like, oh, they're really saying something, and then it shows the subtitles like on the screen of what they're actually saying, and you hear them say like, the code is 0153, and you realize she's whispering because there's a thing that's going to get you if you are too loud or something like that. Something triggers this thing, and you find out it's a little like Five Nights at Freddy's, or Five Nights at Freddy's.
Something like that, yeah.
It's a little like that. You're in like a Chuck E. Cheese establishment.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, the things are coming to get you a little bit.
All right.
But yeah, there's puzzle elements and stuff you have to figure out, like do this switch and this switch and this switch. Oh, you overloaded it. Try again. There's a little bit of that. It's nothing super special. I wouldn't say it's an average like escape room point and click.
What's the price?
$8.
All right. It's about what I would expect.
It says, get ready to make scares, puzzles, hidden secrets, exploration, and survive modes. I didn't play it in the survive modes. You get alternate endings. It's an arts university, so it's not like Chuck E. Cheese. It's like people like have made like paper mache shit or something.
Okay.
Oh, it's an arts university, so it's a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close enough, right?
All right. Looks like another adventure game. What is this?
Oh, this is the Rusty Lake Paradise. Now these games, there's actually like 4 of these games, I want to say, 4 Rusty Lake games. And the reason why these are so good, these are like point and click puzzle games. But the reason why these ones probably got popular and why they're so good is because their sensibility about how puzzles work, about weirdness, about like what you're seeing on the screen right now, that lady is blind, and I gave her I think I gave her frog's eyes, and now she's seeing through these huge, I think they're frog's eyes. They're seeing through these huge frog's eyes, and when you look into her eyes, there's a puzzle inside of her eyes that is outside this cabin. Yeah, there's a lot of
the part where I
cool
click my
weirdness.
stream outro right here.
Oh, they're goat eyes. That's right, they were goat eyes.
Okay.
But the gist of Rusty Lake Paradise is you have to complete each level on the same island in the order of, or according to the 10 plagues of Egypt. Or I think, was it Egypt?
What are you talking about? Are we
the
just
10 plagues.
adding random new themes here?
Yeah.
No,
Really?
you know the 10 plagues. You know the 10 plagues in the Bible, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Like locust, blood, darkness,
Yeah.
firstborn son, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You go through each one of those. Each one of those is a level
Okay.
and new puzzles, and every level is themed of that, like locust themed.
Okay.
So you do
I'm half
like
expecting like a total curveball on top of that. Be like, do you know the song Funky Town? It's all based on Funky.
that's why it's so great. It's weird.
Okay.
It's different.
That's
I love
weird.
Funky Town.
Yeah. It's a great song, man. Great song. Yeah.
But yeah, and it's got a very strange sense of humor. It's kind of like a Monty Python, like the animated Monty Python stuff, where like you'd like see a man's hat come off and like a bouquet of flowers would pop out of it and stuff like that. It's got kind of that absurdist style to it.
Is it an adventure game or a puzzle game or?
It's a puzzle game. Definitely a puzzle game. Yeah. But that's why I think that's why it's got such a following and such. They produce like 4 of them because it's such a weird and thought-provoking style that even, I mean, I'm a normal dude. I was going, what the fuck is going on? Like, you tickle this guy's nose and a frog would come out of his mouth. He'd open his pants and the frog would fall into his pants. And you had to figure out how to get that frog away from him. And the answer to the puzzle, I'm just going to give away one puzzle. The answer to the puzzle was you have to find a belt to cinch up his pants so he can't put the frog down his pants when it falls out of, when you tickle his nose and it falls out of his mouth. That's what I'm saying, man. Weird, right? I love it. Love it.
Game is weird. What's the name one more time?
Rusty Lake Paradise. The Rusty Lake is the name of the franchise of games.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's a weird one for sure.
$4 though. That's another thing. It's only $4.
Oh geez, you played it for a while. Did you finish that?
I did. I
Okay.
came back and finished it.
Gotcha. Is that? Do we got one more day? I'm worried about time now because I want to spend some time with Dragon Ball Z.
We can come back to my shit.
Okay. Well, is it? I think you have one more day, right? Yeah, because we didn't talk about House of DaVinci. So another. We did.
Okay, we can run.
Didn't you try Subnautica?
I did. We can talk about that too if you want.
Yeah, you didn't like it, but that was a short event from what I remember. But go ahead, what were you gonna say, Zeke?
We can go through these real quick. House of DaVinci, do you have that up?
I can. Yeah, 1 second. All right, House of DaVinci.
I can explain it like this. If you have ever played the Room games, like Room 1, 2, or 3, this is it. It's exactly that. If you like those games, you will like this game. It is exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's the Room, except with a different name. The puzzles work the same way. You zoom in, you zoom out, turn this, find this, unlock this, opens up into a different thing. There you go. That's it. That's all I got to say about that. Before we move on, though, I want to do the price. By Blue Brain Games, it's on sale right now for $15, which is a little pricey. It's normally $20. But for I don't know how much the Room was on
The Room was
iPad,
pretty cheap. There was like 3 of them, and they weren't bad.
Yeah. But yeah, it's if it's on iOS or whatever, I get it there because it's always cheaper on iOS. But I don't think I pay more than $10 for this, even being a fan of the Room.
Gotcha. What is this thing?
Same thing.
Oh, same game. Okay. It just looks so different. Some horror game.
Yes. This was. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, this is Emily Wants to Play 2.
Oh, I remember talking about this last week.
Yep. Emily Wants to Play was a horror game where you would be chased in this house by different dolls. There was an Emily doll, which was like, or not an Emily doll. There was a little girl doll that was just pale with black eyes. There was a clown doll, and there was a Howdy Doody kind of puppet doll. That every time you would be chased by them, you'd have to do, you would hear them. You'd have to do different things. Like with the girl doll, you would have to like look away from her. If you looked at her, she would come towards you. Okay. With the clown, you'd have to like stay or stare at him and stay still or something like that. But it's kind of another addition to that with a horror survival puzzle elements, good sound design. It has like the warning signals are different now because they've added new like killer. There's like killer mannequin and a killer like Harlequin, that kind of stuff. But the first part of the game, don't let the first part of the game mistell what the game is about. The first part of the game is all a dream.
Spoilers.
But you have to figure out how to get through it though. But that's what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna play it and you're like, what the fuck is this? I bought it because I liked the first Emily. Get through the first part. You'll understand what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right.
Let yourself get through it. Yeah.
What's the price on that?
The first part is something that I was like, I don't know, man. This doesn't play like the other game at all. And then you realize, oh fuck, okay.
All right.
That's why.
This is the game you just
Hey, listen, you guys weren't gonna fucking pick it up anyways. Those of you guys who like spoilers. You weren't gonna pick it up anyways. So shut up.
Chat's just it's hive minding right now. Just ignore it.
Emily wants to play 2 as $8.
Okay.
So go get it.
Is this a different game in that series that where you do
Nope,
acid?
This is me finishing it.
Oh, okay. All right. And then we'll end with this for now. My Life at Portia. How bad is this game? Because I don't think
It's not bad.
Oh, okay. You just didn't like it?
I just don't like it.
Okay, why not?
It's like Stardew Valley, but like in this fucking Nintendo Wii universe, me style.
Okay.
And it's not as good.
All right. Okay.
I don't know. I went into it. It was unfair of me. I went into it pretty sure I wasn't gonna like it. And if you look at it, it's what you go around. You collect wood. You bring your wood back. You fill in your floor. You fix your floor. And then you go out and you collect this. And then you make this. It's another collection and make like creation game.
Okay. It's not your jam.
Not for me.
It's not your
Not
jam.
for me.
All right.
Yeah, that's called My Time at Portia, by the way.
I think there's 1 or 2 more days, but we can touch on those next week. Are you doing another Indie Sunday on this upcoming Sunday?
Possibly.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna finish Celeste.
Oh, right. Yeah, forgot about
I'm
that.
gonna finish Celeste when I come back.
And then
Do you want a Dump in the Dark? Did you get that one?
No,
Yeah,
you go to Word with Friends after that.
Okay.
We can
We'll
bring it
talk
up
about
next
a
week.
Dump in the Dark. Talk about a Dump in the Dark later.
Okay. Is it bad or is it? It sounds like it's really
so
bad.
It's so bad.
All right. We
All
can
right.
bring it up.
Moving on. I've had my time.
Yeah. Let's wrap the
Talk
show
about
up
Dragon.
with some Dragon Ball. Yeah, Max. People seem to be liking this game. It seems to be selling incredibly well. Turns out when you put like one of the most popular animes in a video game that seems pretty good, it's gonna sell well, right?
Yeah, it seems like when you give people exactly what they want, it does really well. It's weird concept.
Yeah.
By the way, Max, if you
yeah,
don't mind,
so-
if you could approach this, like I'd love to know everything about this game from the perspective of somebody who's
Okay.
never played a Dragon Ball Z fighting.
Totally with you. If you've never played a Dragon Ball Z fighting game, you're doing great already. The Dragon Ball games are drastically different from the several there are going up into this game, and this is, in my opinion, the best Dragon Ball game. This one just is. It just plays really well, and it plays a lot different than the other ones. Considering the fact that the previous Dragon Ball games are sort of arena style, and by arena style, that means there's like a camera over your shoulder, and you sort of like execute moves like in the Xenoverse kind of games, or even in the Budokai kind of games, you had jump buttons, you had block buttons. This plays like a classic 2D action game. So I'm sorry, a classic 2D action like character game. So anything like Street Fighter, anything like Guilty Gear, and it's made by the guys at Arc System Works, who are famous for doing a lot of anime fighting games. And that carries over. They pretty much take all the lessons they've known from that. The graphic styling is carried over from what they did with a game called Guilty Gear. And if you've never had experience with Dragon Ball games, you're absolutely fine. You're absolutely fine. You don't really need to know anything about anything else, because this has no relation to the other ones. It has its own unique story, has its own unique characters. And that's where a lot of people are approaching it from. So that's fine in terms of an approachable aspect, because the most appealing thing about the game, and even from me, who admittedly not long ago wasn't even really that much of a Dragon Ball fan, the fact that it was Arc System Works and the fact that it has some of the most over-the-top presentation, which is what I love about fighting games, feeling powerful, having things feel like you just dial them up to 11. That's everything about Dragon Ball FighterZ. So everything you do is just so insane and over the top and giant hit sparks, and you feel like you're watching the show, even though it looks better than most versions of the show ever have. Like,
Yeah.
that's just so it's so great. and then it just got refined over since E3, and now it's got a roster of like 24, 25 characters or something like that. And it's just running really well. It runs pretty good online. The online matchmaking system is a little all over the place right now. Bandai Namco has said that they're working on it. Unfortunately, Arc System Works as a developer that doesn't have a ton of online experience. They do have a lot of games where they've had online in it. They do work good, but their infrastructure is not great for a lot of people. And all of a sudden, you get like millions of people that get dumped into this thing. You get 44,000 people, something like that, on the first day it launches on Steam playing it, and which is the biggest for a fighting game launch in fighting game history on Steam.
Yeah, that's important to note.
You have a recipe for disaster, and things would start breaking.
Yep, right.
So, luckily enough, like gameplay-wise, it is what it is. It's a crazy anime action game. People will complain that there's like auto combos in the game, but they're really not much to worry about. There's essentially mash combos where you can just press, a light attack or a medium attack, like square triangle, and you get like a big thing that happens. But it's horrifically unoptimized. Like there's so much more you can do. It's just a thing where if like people are going and like hitting the buttons, your character's gonna do a couple of hits and launch them up and knock them down and go into a super. So you see stuff happening and you realize the value in that when you actually watch people that are super casual play these things. Like it's fine to have that. So even if you're not specifically like a giant Dragon Ball fan, like the presentation enough is probably some of the best in the entire industry right now. So I really dig it. The fact that the online's good, the story mode's only okay.
Yeah, what is the story mode?
It isn't.
Is it a Dragon Ball story? Is it its own story? Like where?
It is a unique, self-contained Dragon Ball story.
Okay.
That is like designed for this game.
Okay. So you're not Goku fighting Frieza and then Cell and
you do a lot of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it like retells things and
okay. All right.
It's very self-contained.
Okay.
So Max, kind of a general question, and then I'd love it answered in the kind of like in the Dragon Ball Z section as well. You're a big fighter game guy. You stream a lot of them as well. When you're streaming these games, most of the time these fighting games have campaigns or stories, but that's not why you're playing it. How do you decide how long you're going to play a game and what keeps you going in a game? Like for DBZ, is this the kind of thing where we're going to see you stream a couple streams of it, you feel you understand it, and then, it's back to Monster Hunter? Or do you set goals? Like, I want to get to the hardest difficulty and beat those enemies, or I want to play for X amount of hours. Like, how do you approach that?
It's all by feel. It's all completely by like how much does the game captivate me? Are the characters and the mechanics presented within these fighting games good enough to want me to continue playing to learn more? Like my biggest and entire goal is that I want to do awesome looking shit with some of these characters. And if the characters are cool enough and fun enough, and much less the stuff that they can do is fun enough, then I'm in a point where I just want to keep learning and keep going and getting better. Yes, you can summon Shenron.
I didn't know that you could summon the fucking dragon. What the hell?
Yeah, you can bring other characters back to life because it is a 3v3 game and recover health and stuff like that. So with the case like Dragon Ball, it's the presentation alone is a reason for me to keep coming back. Like I've played a lot of this game since E3 because Bandai Namco has given us some access to it like behind the scenes for limited periods, and I've just been able to update people on it as it's been getting new characters. And it's just been it's a treat. I mean, you just look at this thing. It's like impossible just to look at this game. And the funny thing is, it's all art style. Like the download for the game is like 4 gigs. The entire game is all in its art style and its presentation, and the fact that it's a snappy like 2D but 3D like anime fighting game with mechanics that are surface level, very kind of simple. But as you play it more, you realize how insane it gets. Like, for example, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which is largely the most known 3v3 fighting game, is a very simple game when you first start playing it. And then you start figuring it out, and it just gets it's absolute insanity. Like people are making combo videos for that game 15 years after it was released. So, and that's going to be the same thing for this. Like surface level mechanics are basic enough where you can do anything with any character and get some basic combos.
Yeah.
And then the crazy nuanced stuff is going to be ballistic. Like I haven't even spent that long in training mode in this game, just like figuring stuff out, and I've already come up with some just like, you can do that? Like, I love that feeling. If a fighting game gives you that feeling where it's like, I want to try this. Can I do it? Can I bend the system enough to make this a possibility? And if it lets you do that, then it's something special. And with 3v3 fighting games, you get that a lot because there's a lot of like random elements that can jump in with assist attacks and your other character's tags and everything like that. This game sets up for a lot of that. And that's a very good thing.
I spent
Very cool. Very cool. With I watched you play this a few times, and I have noticed in this game, first of all, I completely see what you're saying. Sometimes when the combos get going, it actually looks like you're watching an episode of the show. Like it's so stylized, the connectivity and how the enemies react to the different hits. But one thing I did notice is this game does seem to have like a huge amount of stylization. So like when characters enter the playing field, when specials are done, sometimes even just the characters doing emotes that aren't even associated with the fight. As somebody who's really good at fighting games to the point where you're like functioning in, quarter seconds when you're doing combos and stuff, does that ever get in the way? Like, does it ever feel like it's too much when you're like just kind of like?
So I see exactly what you're talking about. Like cinematic elements, sort of taking the front seat to like gameplay and things like that, and you're just like, oh man, like I just get this thing over with. I just want to watch.
After you've seen it for the 30th time.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. You're going to see these supers over and over again. You're going to see these intros over and over again because it's Arc System Works. They have a lot of experience. They have like a decorated 20 years of experience of making like anime style fighting games. So they've learned a lot. Nothing ever lasts a bit too long. Like the cinematic level 3s, like you don't see them 8 times like every single match. You might see one every once in a while. Like these characters doing their supers, they last like less than like 2 seconds usually when you get in there. The mode we're playing right now, as an example, is a 3v3 online mode. So you can go online with other people in a lobby, and each person can control a single character. So you tag in, and the other person on your team is controlling that character. It's great. I mean, it needs some ironing out. It's a little funky right now, but when it works, it's really good. So us 3 are in the room, and we're all technically controlling a character because we all have 3 PS3s online. But back to what you were saying, the biggest aspect of the game is its art style, and it never hangs on those presentation elements too long. And that's what's great about it. Because sometimes, man, if like it never isn't satisfying if you are in a clutch match and you land a move that blows up the world, and you go to a wide shot of the planet and there's this giant like nuclear explosion just lifting out of the sky, and you're like, and it's like destructive finish, planet's destroyed, congratulations. Like that's never old. That never gets old. I don't think the presentation of this game will ever get like, frustrating or in the way, just because think about it from the perspective that some of us in here right now might not be huge Dragon Ball fans, but these are characters that have been around for like some odd 30 years or something like that. And seeing them talk to each other and interact with each other and have all these references during their animations and cutscenes back to the mangas and the anime and like everything like that, like it's a dream come true. And even for me, who wasn't like a giant Dragon Ball fan, I'm going into this just based on like gameplay and presentation, was what initially got me into it, and being an Arc System Works game. And I'm already captivated. Like I'm super, super into it. So for someone that's a Dragon Ball fan, this is a dream come true. This is like best case scenario type of situation, which is why it's selling as good as it is. Like this is the definitive Dragon Ball game right now.
Very well. And on that note, final question from me. Do you see this game having longevity, and how do you feel about it as a competitive game?
As a competitive, it's once again being an Arc System Works game. All their games are designed with like systems upon subsystems upon subsystems that grow and allow you to do a lot of crazy stuff. The game already has a huge amount of traction in the community because of just the fact that there's a lot of Dragon Ball fans that play fighting games in general. And there's a fact that Dragon Ball fans have never gotten this kind of game before. Like their games have always been these much different kinds of like Xenoverse games and Budokai games. Like they're good games in their own right, but they are just very different games. A hardcore 2D style, albeit like for lack of a better description, Capcom style Dragon Ball game only existed in fan-made work before called Hyper Dragon Ball Z, which was made in a custom engine called Mugen by a bunch of dudes that are extremely talented that made their own sprites and they did all this stuff. This was the only way it existed before, was like a free to download game that these guys made that was incredible called Hyper Dragon Ball Z. And essentially that's what this is. It's a giant 3v3 version of that with an amazing graphics, high production value, and the game is just ballistic to look at. So in terms of competitive longevity, absolutely. Like the competitive side of the aspect, the FGC side loves this game. Like people are flipping out. The casuals love this game right now because of the way it looks and way it plays. Like it's the real deal. Is everything about it perfect? Absolutely not. Like some of the story mode aspects and some of the online functionality is a bit wonky. But it's hard not to say that this is some of the best presentation in a fighting game that we've ever seen. This chick is going to eat me. The chick turns you into a cupcake and then eats you. Like there's so much, and she loves it. Look, she loves it.
She's
like there's so many little flourishes with the character. You don't.
What is this,
dude? You don't need to know everything about Dragon Ball to see like all the little references and the details. Like similar to Monster Hunter, it's like it's got a world and a realization where all the characters are very preserved in their world, and it's great. It's just wonderful.
And I just want all of you guys out there to fucking remember that in this game, someone turns you into a cupcake and eats you, and you're all like, "What? Frog in the pants and all that? That's weird."
Yeah, but
you know what? Fuck you. Sorry, man. Sorry.
Oh god. Yeah, I've watched Max stream this game for I don't know, probably 10 plus hours, and this stream right here where you were playing with the two friends was the most fun to watch, because I mean it's great to watch one person control three characters and like land all their combos, but it's even better to say, or when you're like, all right, I'm gonna toss it off to you. Are you ready? Get ready to combo. Here we go. And then he misses, and you're just like, come the fuck on, man. Like I set you up for
and
that.
then they start trolling you and they don't tag you in.
Yeah.
So I switch teams on them. I go on the opponent's team and I just fought them.
Yeah, it was so cool, man.
Very interesting moments.
Yeah, I've never seen a fighting game kind of have that team element before.
This mode, this
awesome.
mode is great. Like it's actually, like, in all honesty, Marvel Infinite was the game that came out last year, and Marvel vs. Capcom as a franchise is actually my favorite fighting game franchise like there is.
Yeah.
So Marvel Infinite was largely like very disappointing for many aspects in terms of its presentation that this game picks up on. But what's funny is that I was always requesting for the Marvel Infinite guys, like, please, can we just like get a mode where we can have all the characters on screen at once, a bullshit party mode, something where we can all control like 4 players, one of each character. Luckily, like Marvel Infinite is actually my favorite fighting game out there right now. It still is, because gameplay wise, Marvel Infinite is like one of the best playing fighting games I've played from Capcom in the past like 15 years.
Huh.
You would never know it because of its terrible presentation, and this game picks up on a lot of stuff that Marvel Infinite leaves out, like the 3v3 aspects and everything like that. So a lot of the people that were disappointed from that game, you know, are going to jump to this game, and they're going to be very happy because Dragon Ball looks amazing and still plays amazing. I mean, even for me personally, like MVCI is a game that I love and I can't stop playing every opportunity I get, and I still think is my favorite fighting game right now. Dragon Ball isn't close behind, dude. Like,
yeah.
I mean, in terms of a better quality game, it absolutely is a better quality game. Just look at it. Like,
it is
I'm just looking at it
okay.
right now, just going, my God, man, it's just too pretty.
No, I don't even.
The crazy thing
I
about
don't
this
know
game,
anything about fighting games, and I'm transfixed.
the thing about this game that I can't get over is the fact that it looks like you're watching a pre-rendered scene.
Yeah.
It looks like you're watching something that was designed to happen, like in an episode. So it doesn't look like two people free fight.
So here's the crazy thing. Arc System Works made a game called Guilty Gear Xrd before this. It had multiple versions and big releases leading up into this game. But they built an engine that can pretty much provide the best 2D but 3D anime style animations and individual like frame representations to like what anime kind of looks like, but even better. So each frame is not like tweened in any way. Each frame is specifically calculated to look a certain way, and it's pre-caked in with the lighting. It makes modding this game almost impossible because every single frame has like the caked in lighting and has the caked in like perspective, everything like that. So when it comes to adding like alternate costumes, it's a huge ordeal. Like it's like making a whole new character in terms of like animations and everything like that. You have to redo everything. It's not just adding a new model. So there's a huge presentation they have at a GDC talking about this engine. Like, these are the only guys that know how to do this way. Like, it is their expertise to make games look like this. And Guilty Gear Xrd has like characters that look similar to this with probably even more detail. And I'm used to games kind of looking as good as this, but when you take something like Dragon Ball, that's an established franchise, and now you give it a game that looks as good as it does, that's where people like, everyone's eye is caught. Like, wow, what is this game? Like, as soon as this was announced, it made the older Guilty Gear games, which are like kind of meager selling games. They sell like 100,000 units, and that's like about it. Spike in sales because everyone's like, "What is this stuff?" So it's great that these developers can actually get a little bit of kind of recognition for them being essentially gods of developing fighting games, because they are. Like, they're incredible. The music in this game is incredible too, which is another huge aspect of Guilty Gear. It's just great, man.
Is this the type of game where the Co's and the JP and all three of us, really complete fighting game idiots and noobs, can jump in and just, like you're saying, you can just spam a button and it's gonna do like a combo into a super? Like,
I just bought it, so I hope so.
Yeah. Can we have fun with that?
You definitely can.
Okay.
There's extensive tutorials. You can do all that stuff. You can play through like the arcade mode. You can play through the story mode and just kind of like hit buttons and see cool shit happen.
Okay.
Which is very nice.
That's
I'll
what I
say
wanna
one
see.
thing. If you know how to do a fireball, like a regular Hadouken in any Street Fighter game, if you know how to do that, you know how to do the hardest move in the game.
Great.
Every single input in this game, every single special move or super is either a fireball forward or backwards with one button or two buttons. That's it. No
That's
double
awesome.
motions, nothing. Everything is very simple.
In my language, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm liking this.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
Fireball is back, up, down, BA, right?
That's the Mortal Kombat.
Back, up, down. Definitely. You can try that and probably guilt something.
Yeah.
I probably could. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to give it a try.
Yeah. Well, do you think this could? We're way far off from Evo, but do you think this could make a big splash at Evo this year?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. Like, then the funny thing is that the game was kind of designed for that. Like, they even said specifically that we're kind of designing a Dragon Ball game to cater towards like the competitive community, and that's smart because the competitive community will update and be the lifeblood of the game in terms of like DLC sales and in terms of like tournament sponsors and everything like that. Like, that'll be a huge aspect for Bandai Namco. So, I mean, there's already a planned 8-character DLC pack that's going to be dropping for the game over the next while.
Oh wow! Okay.
And then probably much more after that. The way Arc System Games works is that they get a new version every single year that the game is out. There's probably going to be a Dragon Ball FighterZ XR next year, and then a year after that another one, and then another 8 characters, and so on and so forth.
They talked about who any of those characters are yet, or are they not even talking about it?
They have not specifically mentioned who they are, but there's a couple of interesting potential leaks. Like, I think they've mentioned, somebody found the announcer in the game saying the name Cooler. So Cooler has a good chance of making it in, which would be sick. It's like one of my requested characters I really wanted to show up.
Yeah.
But everyone wants Brawly, like, or Broly.
He would just be so
giant
fucking
hulking-
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I want. I want a giant character in this game. Like,
Yeah.
you think Android 16's on screen right now, and he's big. He's like 9 feet tall or something like that.
Yeah, but Brawly's like
and
3
Brawly's
times
even
his
bigger.
size,
Like,
yeah.
I want a giant character. I
Yeah.
want a huge character.
Do you think someone like Mr. Popo could end up in this game? Or Chi-Chi?
Probably not.
Okay. I just think that'd be hilarious.
I want
Chi-Chi
the
probably
turtle.
not.
Is that no, not
Like-
Master
like
Kai, I
there's-
forgot the turtle is.
Everyone wants like more female fighters in the game, and I think they're going to take some stuff from Dragon Ball Super and
Okay.
start adding a bit more, because it is specifically lacking on a lot of female characters.
Yeah, I remember you guys.
Yeah,
talking
somebody's
about that
asking,
on
is Mr. Satan in the game? No, he's not.
Mr. Satan's pretty cool. Yeah, I grew up with DBZ on Toonami, as I think a lot of people my age did. So the fact that it's in a fighting game and it looks this good is pretty cool. I've seen also a lot of people who are fighting game fans that didn't watch Dragon Ball Z, who played this, and now they're going to watch Dragon Ball Z Kai on Amazon. They're fucking becoming Dragon Ball fans. So it's kind of weird
Dude,
how this mix of worlds.
This got me to watch Dragon Ball Abridged, and I love it. Like, Dragon Ball Abridged is like a fan-made dub of the Dragon Ball series that's very popular.
Yeah.
And some people say is better than Dragon Ball, and I'll almost agree. Dude, it is hilarious and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And that's how I've actually learned a lot of my Dragon Ball lore over the past 6 months or so after this game's been out, because it's got me interested. I think that's the whole point of, a fighting game that is like based on an anime property. If it was like Bleach or One Piece or something, has any of the Bleach or One Piece games ever made me want to go watch Bleach or One Piece?
The Bleach
No,
games are so awful.
not at all.
Yeah, they're so fucking bad.
But this game has made me want to go back and watch Dragon Ball, and it's done it.
Yeah, I hope people kind of developers see like, oh god, people actually will play this that don't play fighting games.
Oh my
like,
God.
This is a huge market for people. What's up, Co?
You run around as a chibi in a lobby.
Yeah, their lobby.
Yes.
Is their lobby
yeah.
system good?
The
I've heard.
whole lobby system is like pre-caked into the game.
Okay.
Oh
So
my God.
from the lobby, you can get access to all the modes. Yeah.
Is that good? I've heard mixed reports about it.
It's not the best it could be.
Okay. All right.
It's okay.
We're a little bit over, but I have to bring up Soul Calibur because you had some footage you were showing off on stream the other night. Is that on your YouTube that I can pull up? Is that okay?
Yeah, there's definitely a Soul Calibur video up on YouTube from like a couple days ago.
Okay.
There's a lot of gameplay footage up on there. Not the one that's of Super, it's just the one that's like my Max plays Soul Calibur. You can bring that up. Yeah, I got a little bit of time to play Soul Calibur at a little Dragon Ball event they had for the launch, and they're like, "Hey, we got Soul Calibur. You want to check it out?" I'm like, well, "Yes." Soul Calibur is one of my favorite fighting game franchises, especially Soul Calibur 1 and 2. I love those games, and I think the series has gone in some crazy directions. And this game is trying to go back to some roots while simplifying a lot of stuff that Soul Calibur 5 had, while introducing some new crazy stuff. It's great, man. Like, if we want to talk about a fighting game that demos well,
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 6, I think I might have said 5. Soul Calibur 6 demos very well.
Is it as fast as 2?
Crazy new over-the-top supers the characters did, very similar to Tekken. Like, the guy that worked on Tekken 7 during the end of its development cycle ended up going over to Soul Calibur because I think Soul Calibur was in some sort of development hell. That was the rumor that it wasn't going great. I think they brought over the dude from Tekken, and he learned a lot from that game and brought it over into this game, and it shows, man.
Nice.
Like, highlighting cool slow-mo moments and a new mechanic, classic characters, new characters, like, and the interesting thing is that everyone was like, "Oh man, it's like Soul Calibur 6, really 6?" It's like, apparently it is a remake practically. It is a spiritual reboot of the first Soul Calibur.
Huh.
So it says, like, at the beginning of the character select screen, a tale of souls and swords now retold or something like that. Like, the announcer directly says that we're going back to the story. So all it is, if anyone played Mortal Kombat 9, like the Mortal Kombat game that came out in 2011, they just had characters from every era, but it was essentially retelling the Mortal Kombat story. It was just a BS reason for them to put whatever character they want into the game.
Sure.
And that's almost identical to what they're doing with this game. So they can bring in characters from Soul Calibur 3, 4, and 5 if they wanted, while still having classic characters, which is smart.
Is it I played a lot of Soul Calibur 2 against my brother growing up. That was kind of many Dreamcast controllers were broken, let's say, between the two of us. Is it as fast as Soul Calibur 2?
Yes. So 2 is the one that is probably the most praised. One was on the Dreamcast. 2 was like the PlayStation, GameCube, the ones with like Link and everything like that, and Heihachi and Spawn.
Yeah.
That's the one everyone
was it
remembers
Yoda
most
in there?
because it had
Yoda was in a 3 or 4.
Yoda was Soul Calibur 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was Darth Vader and Yoda.
Fucking ridiculous.
So everyone's kind of
shit.
heavily anticipating like guest characters for this game, which is going to be a big aspect of it. But yes, the speed of this game is specifically seemed to emulate Soul Calibur 2, which is always the fastest one and the best feeling Soul Calibur.
Nice.
So I wouldn't be worried too much about that. Like, the Soul Calibur games are essentially easier to play Tekkens. Like, that's what everyone's always liked about Soul Calibur. I can actually move around the screen and run, and I don't feel like I'm like a puppet or I have like a stick up my butt, which is what Tekken is about. It's about breaking that boundary and making your character fast. This game, your characters are just fast, and that is absolutely emphasized in Soul Calibur 6, and it feels good, man.
Yeah. Fuck. Was Maxi announced? Has he been announced yet? Is that a character?
Maxi has not been announced yet. There's only like 6 characters. It's like Kalik, Nightmare, Shangshua, Sophatia, Mitsurugi, and the new guy, Gro, who's like a twin blade user. You saw him in here. He's this edgy looking anime guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Super fun though.
Yeah.
He can take his sword apart and pull it into 2 swords and then switch your stance and do crazy stuff. This is a lot of the cinematic stuff that's in the game. This is like, Soul Calibur's never really had stuff like this outside of Soul Calibur 4, I'd say, but the mechanic was terrible in that game.
Right.
Now you get to see kind of the big cinematic elements they're adding to it, which is just one button press. And that seems to be the theme for a lot of fighting games. It's not about how difficult the moves are; it's about when you use them.
Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, I see a lot of people in chat saying Voldo. I think they just have to put him in there. Like, if he's not in there, they're fucking.
Yeah, those characters are going to be in it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can look at a good
Voldo is
healthy
pretty
portion of the first Soul Calibur roster.
Yeah,
and be like, they're going to be in it.
Voldo was creepy as fuck, Co. He was the weirdest motherfucker.
Oh, dude, I didn't even play a lot of that game. I know exactly who Voldo is.
When he would fucking get on all fours and do the
bladed arms, super lanky, walked back with the blindfold. Oh yeah, I know exactly who he is.
The fucking pelvic thrust.
Look at this super
nonstop.
right here. Watch this.
Oh, sick. Now, Nightmare is Siegfried, but do you think they'll have Siegfried himself?
Yeah, Nightmare is Siegfried again in this one. So there's this thing where if you start off with this character, he actually has armor on his body and his head, and if you knock the armor off, which is a mechanic of the game, they expose certain parts of the body, and underneath all that armor is actually Siegfried. So it's kind of like,
okay,
where is this? What is going on in the story? Is Siegfried going to be in it?
Blonde hair and the subscribe now. Is that one of the new fighters?
yeah, it is. Coach.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you can find out more about the new fighters over at Maximilian Dude on YouTube.
What would his super be?
It is.
Ooh. What is super B? Holds up a sub button and he slams it in the guy until he subs the channel to the ground.
Pretty good.
I'm okay with that.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
But yeah, it's a great time for fighting games right now, and even on the horizon, like this game, Soul Calibur 6 is coming out this year.
Really? Holy shit!
The Dragon Ball just came out already. There's a very, very, very high chance that at E3 they're going to show off Mortal Kombat 11. Who knows how crazy and what direction they're going to go with that game? Mortal Kombat X was awesome.
Every single move's X-ray.
Yeah.
Like
they got. What are they going to do? It's like it's going to be a crazy year, man. Dissidia literally just came out, and I haven't even had a chance to play it. I can't wait.
How's hot takes on Dissidia? Is it supposed to be good? Are people enjoying it?
It's a lot different. It's a game that was 1v1 before and then moved on to 3v3, and there is a 1v1 mode in there.
Okay.
It's got simplified mechanics. It's very pretty. I need to play more of it. I actually really enjoyed the time I had with it, but I haven't played a ton of people online, so I gotta play a bit more. But it seems to be mostly positive. But people that were really into the older ones seem to be kind of disappointed that some stuff has been toned down a bit and made a bit more simple.
Okay.
But in terms of presentation, Dissidia looks amazing. It's a Team Ninja game, so all their games are pretty as hell, and it looks very good, man. And it's got a pretty decent sized roster too.
Nice. Being that the three of us have zero pulse on the fighting game community, was Injustice still like the biggest selling fighting game that came out last year, right? Justice 2?
Yeah, that was last year. That was almost a year ago now. Okay. And yeah, the NetherRealm games in general will always be the biggest selling.
Yeah.
Like they always will. Nothing will be NetherRealm games. I guarantee you there's a small chance Dragon Ball might sell as good as a NetherRealm game.
Wow. Okay.
Because the casual appeal of NetherRealm games is gigantic. So I wouldn't. And in terms of Injustice 2, it's still got a competitive. Like they still do big competitive events for it. Like it still absolutely is happening.
Right.
I would say that in terms of overall popularity and interest, and the same thing happened to me. Injustice 2 fell off really fast. Mortal Kombat X kept my interest for a long time, like a year and a half or something like that. And I was still waiting for more characters. Like give us more. Injustice 2, I'm just waiting for the Ninja Turtles right now. I just want to play as the Ninja Turtles. And would I play it a whole bunch after that? I don't know.
Ninja Turtles
really
are in
want the
Injustice
Ninja Turtles.
2?
We'll
What
see.
the fuck? I have to watch.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Is there a trailer for this?
As well as, there's a trailer for it, as well as Hellboy. Hellboy is already in the game too.
What the man? I guess.
And Hellboy's interesting.
I guess when you're like, because Mortal Kombat was so mainstream media for all of its fatality bullshit in there.
Yeah, you knew the Predator and Leatherface were showing up, and Alien. Yeah.
Here's the Enchantress and not Ant-Man. That's the DC equivalent of what's the guy's Giganto? What's the equivalent?
That's Enchantress, and I think that was Adam.
Yeah.
And then the big reveal was this.
Oh boy.
This is where like everyone thought it was the dude from Watchmen.
Oh,
which everyone was
Rorschach. Yeah. How do you say it, Z?
Yeah, Rorschach. Yeah, everyone thought it was him. And then he rips the thing off, and it's the Ninja Turtles. It was a great.
So how's that going to work?
It was a great little.
Are the four of them each characters?
It's probably going to be one character that controls a team. But we'll see. We don't know if it's going to be variation like Mortal Kombat X, where it's like you can switch Raphael and Donatello at the start. But we don't know. Apparently, we're going to know more pretty soon because Ed Boon's been teasing it on Twitter. So we're probably going to see a lot more on Ninja Turtles fairly soon.
Okay.
And that's the final. I think that's the final character for Injustice 2, unless they announce more.
Cool. Well, thanks for the fighting game update there at the end of the stream.
We should have Max on once, like every quarter. We should have Max on.
Yeah, for the fighting game
update.
Exactly, the fighting game minute with Maximilian.
A billion fighting games now, so I guess so.
Whole 9
Yeah.
Maybe get him a couple correspondents for the field.
Yeah,
make it work.
Yeah, there has been a lot of fighting games. It's a shame that there's different rule sets, I think, or not rule sets, but like learning sets for different games. Fighting games is the one set I never learned how to actually play. Like,
yeah,
you give me a stick and I'm just fucking abysmal. Like I can do a quarter sword this way,
and it's not even
it's not gonna work.
It's not even your fault. Like a lot of them don't have the teaching tools to make you better. Or a cool story mode that actually teaches you how to play it while introducing cool story elements. That still hasn't happened.
Yeah.
Like in Dragon Ball FighterZ, they kind of do that, but story mode isn't great. So, I mean, they'll teach you mechanics, but they don't teach you why they're good.
Yeah.
You just gave me a blast back to like playing Super Nintendo or playing Mortal Kombat on my Super Nintendo, where our friends would be like, "No, I want to be the guy on the left."
Yeah.
No, it's my turn on the left.
No, that's me. I'm like, don't start me on the right, motherfucker, because I can't do those moves the opposite way. All right, I'll just straight fucking lose.
I can't do the
can't do uppercuts on that side. Get out of here.
What do you want me to do? There's no. The normal moves are just off.
Only one because you started on the left.
Yeah. Yep. Anyways,
exactly.
That's gonna be a show. Let's do some shout outs here and get out of here so we can just play some more Monster Hunter. Zeke, does your Twitch stuff start today or tomorrow?
We have a meeting today.
Okay.
But then the actual workshop is tomorrow, the next day.
Cool. Zeke, why don't you do some shout outs as well?
You betcha. Thank you to Maximilian, dude, for being here today and for expounding on stuff that most of us know nothing about, like on the show, at least. It's always intriguing to see a completely different side of gaming that I don't get to see very often. Also, thank you to Co and JP for being really great co-hosts. And we'll talk about Subnautica next time. Talk about my thoughts on that.
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
stuff.
curious.
And don't forget Subnautica and A Dump in the Dark. Talk about both of those next show. But if you want to catch me, I will be back on Sunday. I'll be in San Francisco for the next few days. So my next cast back will be on Sunday. Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. All the same, Ezekiel_III. That's it. Thank you.
Awesome stuff. Good luck with the Twitch stuff this weekend, sir. I don't know why Max just took a second to load. Max, do some shout outs for us. I'm not sure why it's... There we go. All right, you loaded in. Good.
Sure. What's up, dudes? Thank you a ton to the dropped frames, guys. Zeke, JP, Co. I really appreciate it, especially considering that the billion fighting games out there right now. I'm currently playing a whole bunch of Monster Hunter on my Twitch channel, as well as playing a lot of Dragon Ball FighterZ and soon to be Dissidia. So there's going to be a lot that's happening. YouTube videos every single day. I put up 1 to 2 videos a day. So thank you guys for having me once again, and hopefully I'll be back to update you when a billion other fighting games come out.
Yeah, we'll have you on around E3, maybe.
I know, right? There's going to be a whole bunch there too.
Yeah. Last but not least, Co, do some shout outs, sir.
Absolutely. First of all, great show today. Big thank you to JP and Zeke. Always fun. And a special thank you to Maximilian, partner in Good Vibes here on Twitch. Awesome dude. And of course, thank you for your time and insight. My name is Co. You can find me every single day, 8 a.m. EST, over on my channel, twitch.tv/GoCarnage. Right now, we're working on Monster Hunter in the morning. We're about 70 hours in a Persona 5 playthrough. We're doing that in the afternoon. And then we also have, after Persona 5, in the end of June, we also have Yakuza 0 coming up, Kingdom Come Deliverance, a lot of fun games. So hope to see you there, streaming every day, 8 a.m. EST. And as always, thank you for watching.
Good stuff. Co, let me know if you decide to stream some Dragon Ball. Maybe we'll do some fighting.
Cool. Sounds good. I bought it. I'm gonna test it out a little bit.
Okay.
We'll talk.
Yeah. Let me know if you're interested, because we're both abysmal at games, and I'm I'm not about to say, hey, Max, we should play some, because that's just not going to be fun for either of us. It just won't be a good
If you guys
time.
need any hints about how to actually set that stuff up, just hit me up on Twitter, because it's very weird.
Okay, we'll do.
Oh,
we'll do.
and just while we're talking about playing together, Zeke, I think I speak for everyone else on this show when I say if you want someone to play Monster Hunter with,
Oh, yeah.
just let us know.
Yeah, hit us up.
Okay.
Let us know.
Okay.
Offline or online, it doesn't matter.
Oh, either way, for sure.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. During my shout outs that after Celeste is done, I'm going to pick up Yakuza 0 for the first time.
Oh, nice.
I've
Man,
never
what
played
the
it.
fuck is happening
Everyone's
to the
playing
two of you?
Yakuza. Everybody's jumping into Yakuza.
These
It's
guys are on a
weird.
weeb tour of games or something. I don't understand what's happening, but they started with Persona and now they're like, I'm going to play some Yakuza. It's like,
I can't speak for Zeke, but it's kind of a dead time, man.
Yeah.
And back when these games came out, it was absolutely crazy. So I know I'm trying new games this year. Zeke is always.
yeah,
So it's just if we're gonna play the games, now's a great time to do it, man.
it is true. It is true. Yeah, there's not too much in, I guess things start picking up in March-ish in terms
The
of
next
big releases.
big release is Kingdom Come Deliverance, and a lot of people are probably gonna skip that, and that's mid next month. So.
Yeah, mid-February. Yep. Well,
It's funny. It's the downtime for you guys, and it's insane for me right now. It's insane.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
I'm just like, I can't. My body.
yeah, keep up the late night streams. That's usually what I go to sleep to. Just
Yeah,
watching
you
fighting games.
quickly become my morning entertainment, so please keep those late streams going.
Morning.
And you guys watch it when I'm all burned out 9 hours in. I'm like, oh, God, just go hunting. Oh, no, just online
Yeah.
lobbies.
We tune in at 4 a.m. when you're fucking singing some Bloodborne chants to the red moon and freak the fuck out.
We praised the Blood Moon last night. We were trying to summon Miyazaki for Bloodborne 2, and I don't know if it worked. I
Well,
was just
we'll
hoping
see.
an announcement would
Maybe
happen.
E3.
That'd have been a
Maybe
great
E3.
time.
Yeah. All right, that's it for Drop Frames this week. We will see you guys next week with more. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.